Greetings, Flow State Jedis. What's happening? So I'm here in Delhi right now, and I'm attending a positive, well, not a positive, I'm attending a psychology conference. I'm just so used to saying positive psychology that I called it positive. So yesterday, man, before the flight, before anything, I had this extremely deep realization, or this gnosis, right? And it was almost like a mini Satori experience, I'll be honest with you. It was very unexpected. I did not expect to have this realization. But I took notes on it, okay? A lot of these notes are also from, I believe her name is Anna. She is also kind of a spiritual teacher. And a lot of the stuff that she was saying was just like hitting my subconscious mind and reaffirming what I already knew. But hearing it from that perspective, that vibe, did something to me, which made me want to share it with you guys. So here we get started. By the way, this first part is from, I don't know if you guys know the rapper named Russ, okay? I just watched one of his interviews. I think it was a Reality interview where he was talking about how don't let anybody green light your confidence, right? Like tell you that, oh, you're being, like how your experience of confidence is going to be different than anybody else's. So you might have a supreme level of confidence for your supreme level of competence, right? And nobody else can come along with their framework of what confidence means in general, okay? You feel confident doing certain things, and it's very personable to you. So you can't let other people come in and be like, oh, you're so conceited, you're so cocky, you're so arrogant, you're so overconfident, you're so confident. Oh, that person is so trying to be something that they're not. Not necessarily. Okay, not necessarily. This is important to really point out in the beginning of this, before I even dive into this other stuff, okay? So, there's this idea, right, that we are living beings, living creatures. We are alive, we're conscious. But if you're in the belief of parallel universes and things like this, and you also understand what the mystics understood of this binary universe, ones and zeros. Zero is nothing, one is everything. So we are everything and nothing at the same time, okay? We are everything and nothing at the same time. Let that sink in first and foremost. Understanding that the mystics described as putting on a light switch on and off really, really fast, and it's flickering so fast that it just looks like a motion picture, right? But this is all hologram, this is all illusion, okay? So it's important for you to understand that dynamic, because we end up thinking that we are not in full control of this thing, that we're not the creators of this thing. But really, you know, God created man in his own image, meaning that God created humans as creators, okay? So creativity is something that we're just born with. We have that sense of creativity within us. We don't need some external thing to try to amplify that. We have it within us, okay? So this understanding of this is all in eternal drama, right? The Leela, the show goes on, the divine play keeps running. And hey, there's also a show happening, right, out there in the physical world with everyone playing these different characters, right? But the show must go on, okay? The show must go on. That's the data that I wanted to share. You know, a lot of people who are very empathetic, they feel like, and I say the word feel like, I feel like so many people, right? I don't feel like one person. I feel like I'm a shapeshifter. I feel like I can absorb, like the world of an actor, right? I feel like I can become anybody or anything or do anything. And this transcending of limits and boundaries, this is really what we are at our core. We are infinite beings. We are infinite creators. And if you start to understand this passage from the Bible that simply said, be still and know that I am. Okay? What is I am? I am is I am God. Okay? I am that I am. I am the underlying substrate. I'm the Brahman, right? I am the beginning and the end. The zero and the one. Okay? So that awareness shift, right? Once we become aware, we can shift the geometry more. Before that, you're not very powerful, but you already know, like power is sometimes put in this label term, right? Something that the 3D world gives us as some kind of a, control mechanism or something like this, but rather it's the power of choice. The power of choice comes from us being conscious individuals and being in the driver's seat of our own awareness. Okay, so be still and know that I am. You're already there. You're already at the finish line. You just have to accept it. You have to get conscious of the fact that you are powerful, that you are confident. And insecurity is the show that does not go on, okay? The act stops there. Because the insecurity, the doubt, the fear, the anxiety, all that stuff is just an act. Okay, it's false, it's separation, it's delusion. It's fluff. Now, I'm not discounting your traumas or negative experiences in life, absolutely not. You've been through certain things, but I think it's pure flow state love that's helped you survive for this long, right? And that's what you resonate with, and that's what you're hearing here. So, if there's a will, there's a way, right? Will is the one, okay? Settling and being still, just this idea that I've arrived. I'm here now, in present time, okay? Now, a lot of people, they try to find themselves through different things, right? But then they can also make that an addiction. So for instance, let's say you find yourself through a specific substance. You're going to identify with that substance and you're going to hide behind it, okay? You're going to hide behind it. But the divine does not want you to hide. The divine wants you to express. The divine wants you to live. You know how we say in flow state, action and awareness merging, being and the doing? Certain people ask me like, man, what's the point of doing anything if it's just all about the being? We're human beings, not human doings, okay? Or whatever the justification is there. I think doing is amazing, okay? It's just, it has to be conscious action, right? It's got to be intentional action. It can't just be some programmed default setting in this computer, this biocomputer, right? And we're just running with that. No, it's got to be conscious. So, you are the source. That is the main message of today. You are slowing down your enlightenment by saying it's a process and not a reality. So an experience, right? A feeling, a visceral experience. You think that, oh, I have to do this exactly like this, and then maybe if I fine tune this a little bit, then maybe I can get it. No, you're already here. You're in the now, aren't you? And in the now, there's no such thing as time. It's called a now ever. Okay? When people ask me about like karma, what karma? If you're in the now, if you're being here, if you're being still, what karma? Okay, what karma do you have to worry about right now? What past lives do you have to worry? Let's brush all that aside and focus on the presence first. Right? Just being here completely. Being here solidly. Right? Solidly, like solid matter, right? I'm this ethereal dude with this vessel meat suit thing, right? And I have to learn how to operate this space suit, specifically because I've cut myself off from my lower chakras a lot of my life, when I was younger. Then I started to understand the power of my human body, actually, and what it can accomplish, right? It's a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty of what his body is capable of, right? So, let's see here. Inspired spontaneous action. So in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. So your word vibrates, whether it's conscious or not, because you are God. Okay? You are that. I am, that's I am. I am declaration is you Godding. Okay? I God it. I've got this. I've God this. Godfidence, right? Level of godlike confidence. Godfidence, right? I'm also doing this program called Godlike Confidence, actually. Shout out to Trey. So, you are the Alpha and the Omega, right? Is that what they say? Jesus Christ. You are the Alpha, which is the top, and the Omega, which is the bottom. Okay? So that's why it's very strange for me to sit and be like, compare these frequencies that have been established over time. Like, you can say that, you can classify people like, oh, this is a beta male, this is an alpha male, right? But you have a potential to be all of them because you're multidimensional. You can choose to be a sigma one day, a little bit alpha the next day, a little bit zeta or gamma the next day, and we keep going with all these personas and personalities and tropes and archetypes, and it's just this smorgasbord, right? This entire platter that you can pick from, like a buffet. So what is your flavor of spirituality? Are you gonna pull a little bit from the Talmud and bring it into your waking life? Are you gonna go into your own lineage? Like, hey, if you're Indian, if you're, South Asian or whatever, you have a connection to Hinduism. I don't care if you're not Hindu, that's fine, but you have a connection to the land. That means you have a connection to that religion as well, in some sense. Whether you like to admit it or not, right? You're still connected to that root of this place, which is fascinating, really fascinating as well. So in spirit means to, inspire means in spirit, right? So coming home to yourself. The thing you gotta understand is, you don't need your thoughts, okay? You don't need your thinking, you don't need your thoughts, but your thoughts need you, okay? Your thoughts are like leeches that's wants to take from you and keep you stuck in the mind, right? So it's up to you to almost domesticate this thing like a pet, okay? People are just oneness designed or disguised as people, right? Infinity disguised in this person. Intuition is actually the natural way that we be. It's very natural to be intuitive, but there's a lot of layering and conditioning and dogmas and all this kind of stuff piled on top of our intuition, and we can't get clear. So I was asking me about intuition, I think it was Ryan, right, for Primal Sutra, and I said, attention goes where energy flows. So what do? You put attention on your intuition. You set a timer and a reminder each day to build your intuition. You put attention to your ajna, your third eye, or you do certain things that will perpetuate this. I also got it's a dowsing pendulum the other day, and I'm just showing the Primal Sutra Collective how to use that. Yeah, that was really cool. I'm going to be using that much more readily. So, our hearts are our gurus. The cadence of God is your heartbeat. It becomes easier as you are sitting at your throne. So the throne of your awareness rests in your heart. Your heart is your guru. You can place attention on your heart, the back of your heart. You will start to notice your energy shifting. You will claim sovereignty again. You'll remember, I was the king or the queen who's stopped ruling. But once I am here now and fully present, I've reclaimed my throne. You get what I'm saying? The throne is internal. There's no poster child for totality, right? There's no poster child for totality, which is why you can be as slow as a snail, right? Eckhart Tolle. Or as fast as a cheetah, right? And this is really, really important to consider, because we have very, very particular tropes, right, of what is spiritual and what is not, okay? Someone says, oh, are you vain? Why would you dye your hair? That's not very spiritual, man. I would argue with you and say it's the most spiritual thing ever, because I was in awareness when I did this. I wasn't doing it unconsciously. I made a very practical choice, and hey, blondes have more fun. Let's just say that, okay? So I don't need any justification, right? Why are you wearing earrings? Why are you doing this? Why are you acting like that? Or why are you doing it this way? And what? There's too many rules in this thing. You need to start taking some rules off, okay? That doesn't mean break the rules. Obviously, read the disclaimer or the description, right? What it means is you give yourself the freedom to be here again, to be God, because you are. You are God in human form. You are gods in training. You're gods with amnesia and goddesses with amnesia. And it's time you remember it again. So if you're thinking different thoughts like, oh, I'm useless, I can't do this, I can't do this on time, it'll never work like this. Remember, those are just thoughts. Those are just the leeches. And they need you more than you need them. So you have the driver's seat control. You can absolutely say to that thought, no thank you. No thanks, I'm good. I don't need to get validated by that, okay? Someone else comes in with an opinion like, oh, what if that will never work, or you can't possibly think that. It's just white noise, okay? You stay true to you. You trust that gut, that instinct. That thing is within you. Be smart about it. Don't cut off circulation to your brain, okay? Don't make stupid choices like that. But trust in that synergy, that coherence between the both. Almost imagine the space. This is what I do in my meditation in the morning, right? I imagine the space between my head and my heart. That whole channel there. I visualize that opening and changing that information as I'm, releasing oxytocin by actually paying more attention to my heart. So, isn't that an interesting thing, okay? Anyway, guys, this video has gone on long. Let's end it here. I hope you guys are well. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you, and stay legendary. May you never be the same again. Let's go. Hit that subscribe button if you're new.